it is even bigger and better.
My name is Joel Idadile, the winner of the Jabos Factor Season 1. Those of you that didn't enroll, I'm sorry.
A very good evening. Welcome to World Now at 4. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. First, let's talk the headlines. Buhari tells Southeast leaders to allow court handle matter. West African defense chief meets over rising insecurity. Putin's alleged mistress on EU's proposed sanctions lists. And on sport, Arteta, Edval sign new Arsenal contracts managers. Now the news in detail. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari called for the Southeast leaders to allow the ongoing court process bordering on charges against the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, that is IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, in the country. Buhari stated this during a meeting he had with the Southeast leaders, including the leadership of Ohanese and Ndigbo, at the new government house, Abakaliki, today. The president, who has ended his two-day working visit to the state, pointed out the determination of the court on the matter was necessary. Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has arrived in Anambra State for a meeting with the All Progressives Congress APC stakeholders in the state. Osinbajo, who arrived at the venue of the meeting in Awka at around 10:58 a.m., is currently having closed-door session with members of the APC. All the APC stakeholders were on ground to receive the Vice President. Meanwhile, journalists have been asked to walk out of the venue of the meeting to allow for a tete-a-tete with members of the APC. The governor of the state, Chukwuma Soludo, was on ground to receive the Vice President at the Anambra International Cargo and Passenger Airport, Umueri. The federal government of Nigeria has approved the 2022 intervention funds for public higher institutions across the country. The Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, that is the TED Fund, Architect Sunday Echono, made this known while receiving the Committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities in his office. Echono said the meeting of all beneficiary institutions will be held by next week, Monday, to interact further and brief, including some of the proposed reforms that have been approved for implementation. He assured the Vice Chancellors of the Fund's commitment to sustain the ongoing reforms in the sector, with increased emphasis on the content of the interventions, particularly in areas of research, ICT, and in areas of encouraging a reading culture in our society through publication of books. Earlier, the chairman of the committee, Samuel Gowon, expressed confidence that Echono will continue with the trajectories of the past leadership and introduce new vistas that will add value to higher education provisioning in the country. The committee further called for a review of the funding support to beneficiary institutions to access Tier 1 journals and repositories to improve the research capabilities of staff, students, and also to help build the capacity of academic staff for generating content, especially video and three-dimensional images to support teaching. We now move to Rivers, where the Rivers State has floored the Imo State at the Supreme Court on Friday after the dispute of 17 oil wells was won. The court, in its judgment, also ended the political arrangement on the sharing of revenue from the oil wells. The Supreme Court had February 2022 fixed May 6 for judgment in the legal battle between Rivers and Imo State over the ownership of the 17 oil wells in their territories. The Apex Court ruled that the oil wells located at Ndoni and Egbema communities belong to Rivers in its verdict. The Apex Court fixed the date after taking arguments from lawyers to the parties. Justice Olukayode Ariwola, who led a panel of justices of the Apex Court, fixed the date after the adoption of the final written addresses by the lawyers. The plaintiff in the matter, represented by a former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Joseph Daudu, while adopting his final address, asked the Apex Court to give judgments in favor of Rivers State on the grounds that historic evidence right from 1927 till date clearly indicated that the oil wells belong to the state. Daudu drew the attention of the Supreme Court to the Boundary Adjustments Paper of 1976, where Ndoni and Egbema were confirmed to belong to Rivers State. It disagreed with the Attorney General of the Federation in his claim that adjudication in the suit ought not to have originated from the Supreme Court but a Federal High Court, because oral evidence ought to be taken from the people of the area. In his own argument, counsel for Imo State, Olushola Oke, asked the Apex Court to dismiss the suit on the grounds that it ought to have originated from the Federal High Court. You're watching World Now at 4 on Hills TV. We now move to news from other parts of Africa after this break.
It happened last year when we had 7 finalists vying for the grand prize, M Grand 7 2021 model worth 11.5 million naira.
For the winner, season 1, Niger Boss Fighter, John Idachele!
This year, it is even bigger and better.
My name is Joel Idachele, the winner of the Niger Boss Factor Season 1. Those of you that didn't enroll, I'm sorry, you have missed out big time. You scammed yourself. You think they were trying to scam you.
Register for the Niger Boss Factor Season 2 with the sum of 5,500 naira payable to GT Bank account number 0561 094 161. Send payment proof to WhatsApp portal number 0901 625 2525. Go to www.bossfm.ng to complete your registration. Call 0808 237 0000 or 0811 584 1500 for more information. Niger Boss Factor Season 2. Celebrate culture, celebrate life. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. West Africa Chiefs of Staff in the ECOWAS have decided a two-day meeting in Accra, Ghana on Thursday to strengthen military cooperation in the region plagued by growing insecurity. Addressing representatives of the Joint Chief of Staff in Ghana's capital, Accra, Ghana's Defense Minister Dominic Nitiwol said that in 3 years, the region has suffered more than 5,300 attacks blamed on terrorists, resulting in about 16,000 deaths and more displaced people. Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger are grappling with jihadist insurgencies, and neighboring states such as Ghana, Benin Republic and Cote d'Ivoire are worried about spillover to their borders. 7 soldiers and 4 backup troops have been killed in 2 ambushes in Burkina Faso's troubled north. The army reveals this, saying that the first attack was near the town of Sole on Thursday, and it led to the death of 2 soldiers and 4 civilians helping the army, while 5 paramilitary troops perished in another raid the same day at Ouanobe. According to statements received on Friday, it's also confirmed 9 people were wounded, adding that the bodies of 20 attackers had been found during cleanup operations. Weapons, ammunition, transport and communication equipment were also found and had been either seized or destroyed. Extremist groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and ISIS have regularly carried out attacks in northern and eastern Burkina Faso since 2015, killing more than 2,000 people and displacing almost 2 million people. We now move to other parts of the world after this break. Don't go anywhere. This is World Now at 4 on Hills TV. Now to news from other parts of the world. During a ceasefire to rescue civilians from the besieged Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol, a car was hit by Russians using an anti-tank guided weapon. Ukrainian militia group, the Azov Battalion, have claimed this. They said the car was moving towards civilians to evacuate them from the plant. The Azov Battalion has said one fighter was killed and 6 were wounded by the shelling. There are thought to be about 200 civilians, including at least 20 children, still in bunkers under the steel plant. Former Russia gymnast Alena Kabaeva, who has long been closely linked to Vladimir Putin, has been added to a 6th package sanction being considered by the Union. The Russian leader's private life is closely guarded, but she is rumored to be his girlfriend. Putin denied that initially, but reports say she has since given birth to his children. 2 sources have told journalists in Brussels that she is on the European Commission list. That's because of her role as chair of Russia's national media group, a TV and a media empire with holdings in various channels and websites. The United States of America has already targeted the assets of 2 of Putin's daughters by his first marriage, but has not acted against Kabaeva, while the European Union's 27-state package, chiefly on the timing of a ban on Russian oil imports, the proposals targeting dozens of Russian individuals are less controversial. If they go through, those involved would face a ban on entering the EU as well as an asset freeze. Up next is business news on Hills TV. Welcome back. The federal government of Nigeria, through the Nigeria Railway Corporation, and has announced it had reconnected the Abuja-Kano train service line that was bombed by terrorists on March 28, 2022 in Kaduna State. It made this public just as domestic airlines raised an alarm issued by the NRC and made available to correspondents in Abuja, stated that major track work on the rail line had been completed, adding that services would resume soon on the line. The statements read in part saying, in our concerted efforts during the AKTS tracks corridor for resumption of service soonest, please note the latest updates. The connection of the AKTS line has been achieved. The NRC stated that Loco 2502, which was involved in the accident, though not damaged and trapped at the Rigasa and due to lack of route access, had now crossed into the workshop for proper examination and routine maintenance. The corporation added that passengers will be reported. This is for improved passenger profiling and safety on board. The United States dollar hit 20-year highs and world stocks fell towards their lowest in over a year on this, while Asian stocks fell on worries about the hit to growth from China's zero-COVID policy. According to several data compiled, the US 50 basis point this week as the market is pricing in more than 90% chance of a 75 BPS hike in June. United States payrolls data due later Friday will help traders gauge the strength of the United States economy. An economist polled by reporters predicted the data would show the United States created 391,000 new jobs in April versus 431,000 a month earlier. Findings also show that
Gabriel Idajile, the winner of Naija Boss Factor Season 1. I just want to say I'm so excited because, wow, this is a very big thing that has happened to competing. Bringing your A game, this is not something you come casually. Come with your A game, come for it. Like, and Season 2 is up. Those of you that didn't enroll, I'm sorry, you have missed out big time.
Sports news and world now at 4. I am Aynan Lubem. Now for the World Cup in Costa Rica from August 10 to 25. The Falconets were seeded in pot 3 along with the United States, Spain and Mexico. The teams were seeded into pots based on their performances in the 5 previous World Cups. In Group A, host Costa Rica will face Australia, Spain and Brazil, while Group B will see Germany take on Colombia, New Zealand and Mexico. Defending champions Japan will hope to qualify in Group D, which has the United States, Ghana and the Netherlands. The top 2 teams in each group will gain automatic qualification to the knockout stage of the competition. The Falconets have made 10 appearances in all competition, finishing as runners-up in the 2010 and 2014 editions. President of the Gabonese Football Federation, FEGAFOOT, Pierre-Alain Mongongue, has been indicted and placed under a committal order in Libreville for failure to report crimes of pedophilia in a case of alleged sexual assault of hundreds of children. His lawyer told reporters on Thursday that the scandal, revealed by a British news outlet, broke when Patrick Asumu Eyi, coach of the national under-17 team until 2017 and a well-known figure in Gabonese soccer circles under the nickname Capello, who was jailed after being accused of hundreds of rapes and sexual assaults on children for whom he was responsible in duties for several years. Asamoah Eyi, since 2017 and until his arrest, was a technical director of the Soccer League of Estuary at the province of the capital, Libreville. Since his arrest, 2 club coaches, Ofi Mekala and Trifel Mabika, have also been indicted on the same charges and jailed. Ben Mongongue, who is 64 years, was re-elected president of the FEGAFOOT at the end of April and was indicted for not denouncing crimes of pedophilia, which he disputes. On Tuesday, he was targeted by 3 coaches who were accused, as well as Mongongue. Gabonese President Ali Bongo Ondimba had referred to a very serious and unacceptable case into soccer, but also into all national sports federations to eradicate potential sexual predators. Arsenal men's manager Mikel Arteta and women's boss Jonas Eidevall have signed new contracts with the Gunners. Arteta, who was appointed in December 2019, and his new deal runs until the end of the 2024-2025 campaign. Eidevall, on the other hand, joined the London club last summer and his country 2024 season. Arsenal director Josh Kroenke, who the future. This is as Arteta has guided his side to a 4th in the Premier League as they try to secure a Champions League spot. Eidevall's side are in contention for Women's Super League title going into the final game on Sunday, with the Gunners used one of their greatest performances to beat RB Leipzig 3-1 on Thursday to reach the Europa League final 3-2 on aggregate. The first 24 minutes and charged Ibrox as players and fans united to pay tribute to long-serving kitman Jimmy Bell, who died on Tuesday. Christopher Nkunku hit back for Leipzig in the second half, but John Lundstram scored the winner 9 minutes from time. Giovanni van Bronckhorst men will face Eintracht Frankfurt in the final in Seville on May 18 in just their final in 50 years. Liverpool winger Mohamed Salah has said it will be revenge time when Liverpool face Real Madrid in the Champions League final. Their meeting, which has been slated for Paris on the 28th of May, will be a repeat of the 2018 final, which the Spanish Giants won 3-1. Salah was forced off injury before halftime in that game with a shoulder injury sustained in a challenge by Real defender Sergio Ramos. He however bounced back from that disappointment 12 months later, scoring a penalty in the Champions League final against Tottenham as the Reds won 2-0 to clinch their 6th European crown. This season, Liverpool remain against Chelsea at Wembley on May 14. Meanwhile, the Anfield outfit trail remaining. The Egyptian captain has been vital in Liverpool's challenge on all fronts this season, scoring 30 goals and notching 14 assists in 45 appearances. And that's your sports news on World Now at 4. Back to Peace for the rest of the news. I am Ainan Lubem.
It happened last year when we had 7 finalists vying for the grand prize M Grand 7 2021 model worth. This year, it is even bigger and better.
My name is Joel Idadile, the winner of Naija Boss Factor Season 1. Those of you that didn't enroll, I'm sorry, you have missed out big time. You scammed yourself. You think they were trying to scam you.
Register for the Naija Boss Factor Season 2 with the sum of 5,500 Naira payable to GT Bank account number 0561 094 161. Send payment proof to WhatsApp portal number 0901 625 2525. Go to www.bossfm.ng to complete your registration. Call 0808 237 0000 or 0811 584 1500 for more information. Naija Boss Factor Season 2. Celebrate culture, celebrate life. Terms.
Thank you, Lubem, for that. Now to the rest of the news. The United States President Joe Biden on Thursday announced Karine Jean-Pierre as White House Press Secretary, making history as the first black woman to hold the post. Jean-Pierre, 44-year-old daughter of Haitian migrant, will replace Jen Psaki, who was originally expected to serve for only the first year of Biden's term. New COVID-19 variant and the war in Ukraine kept her in the job for several months beyond that self-imposed limit. Biden, in a statement from the White House, said Jill and respected Jean-Pierre a long time, and she would be a strong voice speaking for him, and this administration. And that's news. And that's World Now at 4 on Hills TV. But before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you that Buhari has told Southeast leaders to allow court handle matter. West African defense chiefs has met over rising insecurity. Putin's alleged mistrust on EU's proposed sanction list. And on sport, Arteta, Eidval signed new Arsenal contract managers. Remember